All right, we are live on YouTube, and tonight we're going to be discussing when you stop caring, results come. So stick around and find out exactly what I'm talking about. All of that and much, much more is coming right. Whoa! Live from Northern California, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell. And after you bang that bell, when that pop-up box pops up, make sure you select all notifications, because that way you won't miss a single thing. You will not miss anything when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. And also make sure on your smartphone, your tablet, your iPhone, your Android, or anywhere that you have the YouTube app installed on, you must also make sure that the YouTube app is set to receive those notifications at a device level. Do all that exactly as I just stated, and you're good to go. You will never miss a beat from me or anyone else that you follow out here on YouTube. All right. We are live, and welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome to the show. Let me make sure the notification went out. Don't have any chatters yet, but that may change. But regardless if there are chatters here or not, it doesn't matter, because I really want to get into this topic right away. And for those of you out there that are wondering why I'm not doing certain topics in the format of a pre-recorded video, well, that's because I haven't been feeling that great lately with my pinched nerve. I'm recovering every single day, and it's a little bit easier for me to do the live streams right now, so I don't have to do much editing. But I promise you folks, I'm going to start tackling more of these serious nature topics through pre-recorded videos and making them shorter and sweeter. And that way, I love the engagement with the chat, but sometimes when people just want to get information, they don't want to see and hear engagement with the chat. They just want to get the information and go on with their day. So I completely understand that. I just wanted to update you folks with what's going on. I am feeling a little bit better today. My pinched nerve is still bothering me, but it has progressed in the right direction. So I'm hoping, by, the end of this week or maybe middle of next week, it'll be completely back to normal, and then I can do even more for you folks. Oh, speaking of the devil, look who's here. Queen Helen Casey's in the house. Hello, Eli. Smash the like button for Eli, says Queen Helen Casey. Welcome to the show, Queen. How are you doing today? How's it going? Glad to have you on board. Stream health looks good. So we're just going to get right to it here, folks, because I'm not going to be on too terribly long. This may only take 20 to 30 minutes. There's not a whole lot to say about this topic. I just want to get you folks the information and help you keep moving forward on the right track regarding whatever it is you're trying to accomplish out there. And that's why on the title of this stream/video today, I titled it, When You Stop Caring, Results Come, and in parentheses, Dating and Business. Because, results are measured in your personal life and within your business life as well. They go hand in hand. So that's why I titled it that way. So let me just get right to it. Queen Helen Casey says, I'm doing good. Thank you so much. Mutt Nuts World, she changed her channel name, mentioned that she's not going to be able to make this stream because I believe her boyfriend surprised her. She left a message in the chat. I didn't see the whole message. I saw it pop up on the notification lock screen on my iPhone. So she's not going to be here. She said she'll catch the replay. No problem, Mutt. Hopefully you have a great time with your wonderful man, and say hello to him for me. But yeah, you gotta take some time away from YouTube and enjoy your personal life. So no worries about that, Mutt. But thanks for making us aware at the same time. Okay, so when you stop caring, results will come. What inspired me to discuss this? Well, I have a lot of personal experience regarding this. And there are also a lot of other coaches and YouTubers out there that have tackled this subject. And I wanted to put my own spin on it and include, personal experiences that I went through. And when I did care too much, the reaction, the response I got from people compared to the reaction or reactions I would get from people when I didn't really care as much or stopped caring, period, right? And before I get into it, when I say, when you stop caring, results will come, it's not saying that you shouldn't care at all. You just shouldn't let the things that don't resonate with you get to you. You need to learn how to handle criticism. You need to be able to handle people coming at you in hateful ways. It's not really good to hear that, but you shouldn't care about the things that don't matter to you. You shouldn't let the things that don't matter to you and that will prevent you from moving forward, get in the way. And that's what I mean when I say when you stop caring, results will come. Additionally, what it means is that even if you want certain things, such as, if you're a man and you want a girlfriend, or if you're a woman and you want a boyfriend, or you want to be a successful YouTuber, for example, you shouldn't sit there and put too much pressure on yourself or other people. Because if you put too much pressure and you expect too much from, let's say, YouTube, or from, someone that you're getting to know, such as a boyfriend or girlfriend or a man or a woman you're meeting, it's going to come off towards them in that way. And it's basically going to eliminate you in their eyes. They're going to see you as a person that is a bit too much, is too needy, is too desperate, is too insecure, and is just not a laid-back person that should allow the natural flow of progression to take its course, regardless, whatever it is, right? So when I was younger, I really had the outlook that I just care about the world. I care about everyone. I care about everything. No matter how people would approach me, good, bad, or indifferent, I always was a nice guy. I always was kind, caring, and considerate to everyone, even towards people that didn't deserve my kindness. And, this especially held true with my friendships, because I had a lot of friends, and I guess you can say that most of them are still my friends to this day, but I don't hang out with a lot of these people because, I just don't like where they've taken themselves. I don't like the place they're in right now, and it just doesn't resonate with me. And even back in those days, if I look back, the type of people I hung out with were people that, really didn't resonate with me. So why did I put up with them? I put up with them because I just wanted to be liked. I just wanted to be accepted. I just wanted people to be around me, right? I didn't want to be alone, right? But what I didn't realize is that caring too much allowed the wrong group of people to flock to me and take advantage of me to get what they want from me and never reciprocate anything in return. So anyway, yeah, give me 1 second here. Yeah, Queen. It's really funny that, you get some trolls coming in the chat and, they come in on a fake sock account pretending to say I'm having suicidal thoughts, I'm going through depression, I'm going through this and that. And, to those people out there that like to play games like that, we just ignore you. I mean, right now I'm using this for example purposes, but we just ignore you. But, in essence, what you're doing is taking time away from other people that are really going through that and really feeling that we can help and even possibly save their lives. And if you're the kind of person that's going to create fake accounts to come in and troll someone and pretend to have suicidal thoughts and tendencies and all that and depression, then you know what? At the end of the day, when this all ends, karma is going to pay you back for being that kind of person. Because like I mentioned many times before in life, folks, you only get what you project. What you put out, you get back. So anyway, back to the topic here. So with my friends, when I would hang out with them in my younger days, they always wanted me to do things that they wanted to do. And even if those were things that I didn't really enjoy or feel comfortable doing, initially I would end up doing those things because I didn't want to hurt their feelings. And I was always and always have been such a caring person that has empathy for others. And I'm not selfish at all, to the point of where I would, give up my happiness to make other people happy. And that's not the right way to look at it, because if you're giving up your happiness to make other people happy just so they hang around you, in essence, you're not being yourself, and you're not going to attract the right people that are going to make your life a lot easier and make your life more successful. Another thing, like I've talked about in the past, like attracts like. Okay? Like attracts like. But when you're younger, you don't realize that. You don't have the experience that you get when you get older. So after many, many years, we're talking about maybe 8 to 10 years of hanging out with this group of friends that I grew up with, I finally started to pull away from them because I realized that we really don't have a lot in common. We really don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. And what I want out of life is far different than what they want out of life. Now, I'm not saying that they don't want to have a good life, but their approach towards it is different, and it doesn't resonate with me. So I decided, because, we have, a lot of differences, that I was just going to withdraw and pull away. And the moment I did that, I started to get a lot of, backlash from the friends and this and that. Oh, you never hang out with us anymore. You only care about yourself. You're selfish, right? In essence, they were projecting. But what actually happened was I stopped caring about what they thought about me when I realized that they just wanted to use me for their happiness. They just wanted me to do things that they only wanted to do, and they didn't really care about what makes me happy. So when I stopped caring, the results that started happening for me was it freed up a lot of time for me to go out there and meet other people that are like-minded. And then my life tremendously changed after that point. This was happening throughout my high school years, and I would say all the way probably through at least my mid-20s, possibly even towards the tail end of my late 20s. By the time I got into my early 30s, I really started to have the outlook that I really don't give a shit about what anyone thinks about me. Let me repeat that one more time. I started to have the attitude and outlook that I really don't give a shit about what anyone thinks about me. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. What I mean by that is this. I do care to a certain extent what people think about me, and I do care about people in general. But I've also learned to better recognize who's worthy of my time and who's not worthy of my time. And if there are people that are going to, try to suck up my time that don't deserve my time, I'm just going to recognize that. I'm going to ignore them. I'm not going to feed into them. I'm just going to, eliminate them from my life. I got to the point of where I stopped caring about every single little thing. It doesn't mean I don't care at all. It doesn't mean I'm not a caring, loving, and nurturing person with empathy. To this very day, I'm one of the most caring, loving, loyal, and empathetic people on the planet. But I'm very careful with who I give that to. I'm not saying I'm guarded, and I'm not saying I'm not open-minded and outgoing. I am. But I become so in tune with myself to recognize who deserves my time and who doesn't deserve my time. And if I feel people don't deserve my time, we don't have a lot in common, and they're not positive people to be around that are giving people and not just selfish, making it all about themselves, if they're not the right person, then I just don't focus any energy on these people. And that's why when I got to the point of starting my YouTube channel 3.5 years ago, and then I started dealing with trolls and haters, okay? When I started dealing with trolls and haters, I already knew what I wanted and I knew what I didn't want. But you still have to allow people a chance to get to know them before you can decide whether they're worthy of being around or not. So what happened? A bunch of people came through my channel. They started attacking me. They started, being the opposite of what I'm looking for on my channel. And then I started to block them immediately, right? And when I started blocking them immediately, the more and more people I blocked, the more and more these people would gather up, find out about each other, and then start more so attacking me. And initially, when they started attacking me, because I was new as a YouTube creator, I did care about my public perception and my persona out there and how people perceive me. But after I realized that it really doesn't matter, I stopped caring about that as well. I'll tell you why. I started to realize deep within that no matter what anyone says about me, no matter how many people gather up in a group and try to attack me, try to kick me down, try to say I'm the biggest piece of shit, right? No matter how many people say that, the right people will be able to look past that and see the kind of person that I am. And again, the only reason why I got to that level is because, I realized that it's just not worth it to care about every little thing in life. It doesn't mean, again, like I said earlier, it doesn't mean I'm not a caring person, and I'm not telling you folks to not be kind, caring, loving, and considerate people. What I'm saying is that you've got to pick and choose your battles wisely. And even if you don't resonate with people, don't go out there and attack them. Don't go out there and call them names. Don't go out there and retaliate because they came at you. Okay? I'm guilty myself of, responding to people, especially out here on YouTube. And even in my younger days, I used to always, when I would get into fights with my friends, not actual fist fights, but like verbal fights, when I didn't agree with them on things, they would challenge me, right? And because I was such a good guy that cared way too much, I would try to talk with them and say, dude, I'm really just trying to be a good friend. I just don't like doing this. Can we do something else, right? Okay? They would keep coming at me. And they would keep coming at me. And they would say, well, if you don't like me for me and don't like doing things that I like to do, then you know what, you're not a good friend, right? And they would try to make me feel guilty, right? So until I realized that, caring too much about people that don't care about me and that are selfish and inconsiderate and eliminating them and moving forward, I was never going to get to where I was meant to get to. And that's why, I'm at the point of where I'm at today. I'm very much in tune with myself. And that's what I want to help you folks out there get to. I want you folks to get to that point where you're so in tune with yourselves that none of this phases you and you only focus and care for things that not only make a difference in your life, but other people that you're associating with. So in essence, you want to go out there and, be yourself so you can attract like-minded, positive people into your life. And that way you can work together and accomplish anything you want to accomplish, all of you that are in the right headspace. Anyway, let me just check something out here real quick. All right. One other thing I want to talk about before I wrap this up. This is only going to be probably a 35 minute stream or so at the most. Let's talk about, we talked about my friendships and friendships in general and how this can affect your friendships. We talked about kind of sort of the business aspect, talking about, running a YouTube channel. You can look at that as a business, right? And I'll just mention this in additional for the business aspect before I talk about the dating aspect, because that's very important too. If you become a self-employed entrepreneur, you need a lot of people to grow your business. You need to be able to make friends and attract the right people. If not, you're not going to be successful. And a lot of people have the outlook saying that you got to learn to get along with everyone. You got to love everyone no matter what. Everyone that comes your way is a potential customer. And to a certain extent, I can understand why some people are saying that. For me, I don't feel every person that comes my way is a potential customer. In many cases, what certain people do as an entrepreneur targets a niche market. So while technically my services are available to everyone, not everyone is open to my services. For example, trolls, haters, people that just, don't believe in life coaching and self-help personal development. So I'm going to target people that believe in that. Okay. So as an entrepreneur, you're going to have a lot of people reach out to you to try to collaborate, to try to, work with you. And in many cases, they're going to try to make you feel that working with them is going to bring your business more value, when in essence, they know that they're going to get more out of you than you're going to get from them. I think before you decide to work with someone and collaborate with someone at a business level, you have to sit down and talk with them and come up with a strategy and see how it's going to benefit both of you equally. And last but not least, like I've been mentioning in the past, you also want to have a contract, a legally binding contract. I have learned that I will never, ever do anything that involves money or a great amount of my time unless I have a contract. And that's something I highly recommend. It doesn't mean that if you decide to not work with someone that comes your way, that you don't care about them or you're rejecting them. But you don't have to be the kind of person that always gives every single person the opportunity. You can talk with people. Give people a chance to get to know them, talk with them, for half an hour on the phone, or however you do it, right? And try to get a good idea if they're worthy of your time. But if not, just move forward. You don't have to sit there and, like I said, and give every single person your time and the opportunity just because you're such a nice person and you just care too much. When you care too much, that's going to be the demise to your success. Let's see. Gia Love, hello. On my way to work at Queen Helen Casey. How are you? Queen Helen Casey, hello, Gia. I'm doing good. Gia Love, hello at A Grip on Life. That's great at Queen Helen Casey. Where's everyone? Hey, Gia, welcome to the show. I'm not going to be on too much terribly longer. It's going to be a very short show. A lot of people are busy right now, but it doesn't matter because, people can watch the replay, and that is okay. This is an actual topic that I would have rather done as a pre-recorded video, but like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, Gia, because I'm still recovering from a pinched nerve, and it's taking me a little longer to, move around and stuff. I've decided to do a lot of these streams live because it's just easier to get them out there rather than pre-recording a video, then editing it, uploading it, and doing that. When you go live, once, it's out there, it's out there. So, but anyway, yeah, Mutt's hanging out with her wonderful boyfriend. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about regarding when you stop caring, results happen. Okay, if you're a man that wants to find a good woman, or if you're a woman that wants to find a good man, it could work both ways. But more so, I see men having a problem with this because, men are, I have to say this, that men are a little more, pushy when it comes to meeting women. They shouldn't be, but they kind of are. And I guess to a certain extent, men have to be a little bit more forward because women are always going to throw up a little resistance when anyone new comes their way. It's just the way women are, right? Okay. But your job as a man is to make the woman feel comfortable when you're getting to know her. So when you first meet a woman, okay, you want to go into it with a carefree attitude. Okay. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't care about the situation, but don't care too much. Like if you have the attitude in your head, you don't go out there and say, hey, Jill, nice to meet you. I don't really give a shit about what you think about me. So if this doesn't work out, then it's your loss, right? You don't want to say that to her because if you say that to her, it's date over. She's going to think you're a big jerk. But in your head, if you think that, let's say you're meeting with Jill, right? You met her on Match.com. You exchanged a few messages through the Match.com messaging system. You got on the phone, had a great conversation with her, and now you're meeting up. On the way while you're driving to that date, right? You got to put it in your head that, you know what? Regardless of what happens, I really don't care what happens. Whatever's meant to happen is going to happen. I don't care too much. I'm going to go there and be me. I'm just going to hang out, right? I'm going to go on a hike with this woman, or I'm going to go and, grab coffee with her, or I'm going to go and have lunch with her, right? And I'm going to think in my head that if nothing else comes out of this, at least it gave me an opportunity to get out, meet someone new, and have a nice lunch, cup of coffee, or a nice hike, right? So in essence, you have to look at it as you're going to get something out of it, whether you get something out of, the woman you're meeting or not. You got to go into it with a carefree attitude because if you don't, because of the fact that all women are very intuitive and very few men are as intuitive as I am. And because women are so intuitive, if you go into it where you care too much, she's going to pick up on that and she's going to automatically friend zone you, like almost immediately. And then it's date over anyway, right? So why not just be yourself? Be laid back. You meet up with her. Hey, Jill, it's Eli. Nice to meet you. Let me get you a cup of coffee. What would you like, right? Go in there. Be the leader. Be a good man. Be a cool dude. And just kick back. Ask her a few questions. Don't ask too many questions when you're meeting in person. You should have already done that on the phone, right? Let her ask more questions. And then just kick back. And if she asks you, well, Eli, you're not really asking me a lot of questions like you did on the phone. Well, I want to learn more about you, Jill. You seem to be a pretty fascinating woman, and I want to learn more about you. But yeah, if I have something to ask, I'll ask you. But I'm enjoying your company. I'm having a great time, and that's that. Just be cool. Just be yourself. And again, in your head, you want to be thinking, I don't really care. I don't give a shit about what she thinks about me. When in essence, you kind of do, right? But you don't want to come off that way. And you don't want to put yourself in a position where if it doesn't go to a second date, if you don't get that feeling that you're going to see her again after that date, if you're feeling it and she's not, it's not going to put you in a sour mood to the point of where you're driving home and you're pounding your steering wheel and you're ticked off that you just wasted your time. You drove 20 minutes to meet her. You bought her coffee. You gave her your time while you were there. You see what I'm saying? You want to go into it with no expectations. When you have no expectations, okay, another way of saying when you stop caring, results come. That's when they start to happen. Does that mean they're going to happen every time? No, there's no guarantee that things are going to happen regardless of how well you play your cards. But when you play your cards right, you give yourself the best possible chance of something happening. And over the course of time, if you do everything the right way, okay, your wins are gonna outweigh your losses. Doesn't mean you're never gonna lose again if you do everything right. What it means is that you will win more often than lose. If you play your cards the other way, if you care too much, if you're too nice of a person, if you're too giving, then you're perceived as being too much. When you're that type of person, let me tell you something. Your life's going to be miserable. You're going to be a failure, and I don't want you to be a failure. Okay? And the reason why you're going to be a failure is because people are going to see you as a weak person, as a needy person, as a desperate person, as an insecure person. And that's not what you want to project out to the world. You just want to be you. You just want to relax and share with whoever you're hanging out with that particular moment who you are. And let them decide if they want to be a part of your life. If they decide they want to be a part of your life, they're going to tell you, they're going to show you. And when you recognize that, if you want to be a part of their life, at that point you can decide. Anyway, I'm going to check out the chat real quick, and then I'm going to wrap this up. It's going to be a very, very short stream tonight. Okay, Queen Helen Casey says, Gia Love, I'm a nurse. They take forever to recover from. I've heard pinched nerves. I've had one in the past, and I think it took a month or so. But what I've read online and seen some doctors and physical therapists say, it takes about 3 to 6 weeks. Gia, is that correct for a pinched nerve? Typically 3 to 6 weeks. Gia Love says, most women think guys only want one thing, to be honest. It's hard to find a nice guy. Well, yeah, Gia, some guys are like that. But there are also guys that are not like that. And for the guys that are not like that, what turns us off, us good guys, that is the fact that because most women have dealt with guys that have a one-track mind, because that's how they were coming off to that woman, when we get to them, these women become very guarded. And in essence, they will say, you're not looking for a one-night stand, are you? I don't want to be with you if you're looking for a one-night stand. I'm like, I'm just getting to know you. I haven't even talked about sex. I just want to get to know you. I mean, if you're that guarded and you just can't let the past go, then I'm going to end this right now. I think what women need to do, Gia, is, better understand that not all guys have a one-track mind. And just because a woman that is out there looking to find a guy, let's say she goes on 5 dates, and every one of those 5 guys was trying to get in their pants, right? Okay. And then the 6th date is me, a good guy, without the one-track mind. But if it works out, I'd love to be intimate with her for the right reasons. What's wrong with that, right? But by the time she gets to me, she's so jaded from those past 5 dates that she's already, pre-assuming that I'm going to be the same way because these other guys have been that way. That's pretty messed up, and that's a very big turnoff for me. And that's something that I look for in a woman that cannot move past her other experiences that were negative. In my opinion, is not in a good place emotionally and mentally to move forward. She still has some things to work through. You know what I mean? But I get what you're saying. And it's not about being a nice guy anymore, because the nice guy scenario is nice guys finish last, right? I'm a nice guy, but I don't call myself a nice guy. I call myself a good guy because, when you say, oh, I'm a nice guy, a lot of women get turned off by that because they're thinking that, you don't have a spine. They're thinking that you're going to suck up to that woman and put them on a pedestal and kiss their ass, right? Instead of just being a real down-to-earth man, a gentleman, right? That not only respects the woman he's with, but respects himself as well. So yeah, I get what you're saying, Gia, and I appreciate your comments. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Gia, I've been down that road many times, says Queen Helen Casey. Yeah, I mean, look, there's not a man or a woman on the planet that doesn't want to have intimacy with someone. Like, if you're a man or a woman, you know, a normal man or a woman, which is what I'm trying to say, and you don't feel sexual desire and sexual urges, you're just not a normal human being. Even for good people that don't have a one-track mind, want to feel intimacy. We just don't want to have to work harder for it because there were other guys before you got to me that only wanted that or manipulated you into a one-night stand, and you're thinking that I may be trying to do the same thing to you. That's what makes it more challenging nowadays. So I get what you're saying, Queen. Queen Helen Casey, it is disappointing, says Gia. Queen Helen Casey, yes, it is, Gia. That's why I drowned myself in all this work on my YouTube channels. Well, Queen, you shouldn't give up on what you really want, Queen. You're a good woman, and I bet if you could find a really good man that was 100% trustworthy and would never hurt you or leave you, you would give that man a chance. You still want love and intimacy and happiness, Queen. You're just having trust issues because of what's happened to you in the past. And I have a lot of respect for you, Queen. I'm just being honest with you. Now, if you want to withdraw from men for the rest of your life permanently or for a while and work on yourself and build back up to putting yourself out there, no problem. I just think you deserve a lot more than you're giving yourself. And I think the way that you're seeing yourself, okay, is affecting you from getting what you want. And whatever I can do to help you, Queen, get whatever you want, that's what I do as a coach. I'm not going to tell you what to do or anyone else. I don't tell people what to do. I help people get what they want. And I know what it takes to get what you want based on my past experiences. Gia Love says, I understand that Queen Helen Casey, you should see all the guys that work at the hospital. Most are pigs. Gia Love, are you married? You must be a pretty attractive woman. Like, how old are you, Gia Love, if it's not too personal? You don't have to mention if you don't want. But you must be a pretty attractive woman. You're a nurse. You're probably in your 30s or 40s. Take care of yourself. Yeah, I mean, there are guys out there that are pigs. And I want to help those guys become good guys, right? But they're just not open to it yet. But that's not the problem. The problem is, women are saying, where are all the good guys at? Well, here's one of them. But again, by the time you get to a good guy like me, I'm not saying about you, G, I'm saying in general. By the time you ladies get to a good guy like me, you've had so many negative experiences that you're so guarded. And because I'm such an intuitive guy, I can pick up on that. It turns me off to the point of where if I can pick that up after a 5 or 10 minute phone conversation, I'll end that call and it'll be over. So I think a lot of women need to learn to better understand that not all guys are pigs. Many, if not most, are. Gia, you're right. But if you believe in true love and you still want to find true love, you got to allow at least one of the right guys to come in. And sometimes to get to the right guy, you got to go through a bunch of bad seeds. And you can't hold the past against anyone new that you meet. You just have to get better at recognizing patterns and better at qualifying men and better at asking questions and better at reading their responses to try to interpret their intentions. And that's all you can do. That's all you can do. Either that or withdraw completely from dating, which is not going to make a lot of people happy, right? Most people want companionship, right? If you want companionship, it's not easy to find. It's not easy to find. The right person is not easy to find. But if you really want it, you're not going to give up until you get it. And that's what I do here as a coach. I help people work through their past so that way they don't give up and eventually get what they want. Let me see here. Queen Helen Case says, Jailbird, give it up. You got no chance in here. Yeah, Queen. Yeah. June 30th's almost here, Queen. I just hope he doesn't get another extension because that would just be terrible. Gia Love, it's hard. You need to stretch if you can, and the lidocaine patches can help. You know what? I'm going to look into that. Thank you for sharing that, Gia. Gia Love, 38 and fit, lots of walking in the city. Oh, you're still young. You're still very young. I swear, Gia, even women in their 40s and 50s today, you know, I'm 46 and I try to take as good care of myself as possible. And I actually need to shave my beard because it's getting a bit too long here. So forgive me for that, folks. Just with with the pinched nerve, it's taking me longer to do things. But I think I'm going to trim my beard tonight so I look even better on camera tomorrow. But yeah, there are a lot of women in their in their 40s and 50s, even early 60s, that are very fit and look even more beautiful and sexy, in my opinion, than 20, 25-year-old women. Queen Helen K says, I still got to go through a lot of spiritual awakening because all the psychological operations is a pain, and I was trained to expose lies from the mainstream media. Well, Queen, if that's what you're passionate about, then you know what? You should be doing that on your YouTube channel. You should be creating content and talking about it, running live streams, running pre-recorded videos, and putting out more content there. I know you're very active on Twitter, and I love your stuff on Twitter. But Queen, if you took that energy and put it into a YouTube channel and presented your material in ways that are advertiser friendly and abide by the community guidelines, you can make a lot of money doing it and enjoy what you're doing at the same time. But I get it. I'm not a big fan of the mainstream media. I really never have been. It's too commercialized. It's all about, okay, whoever pays the most amount of money gets their message out, right? Or are you going to upset the sponsors that are paying for your programming? So what are you going to cater your programming to? What are you going to cater your stuff to? The highest sponsor, right? Because if you don't, what's going to happen? They're going to pull out, and then you have no money to run your show and to pay your crew, right? I get it. I get it. I bet you do a great job at Queen Helen Case, says Gia. Absolutely, she does. Absolutely. Queen Helen Casey, yes, I do, Gia. Gia Love, don't apologize for how you work. Own it. I just got out of YouTube jail today, says Queen Helen Casey. Fantastic, Queen. Did you get you got a community guideline strike and it didn't allow you to stream or upload for a week? Is that what you had? Well, yeah, if you get a community guideline strike, well, your first community guideline violation is a warning with no penalty to your channel. They changed that last year. Then your second strike is your first actual strike. Then after your first actual strike, you cannot stream or upload for a week. If you get a second strike within 90 days of the first one, then you can't upload or stream for 2 weeks. And then if you get a third strike while those two other strikes are still active, which is technically your fourth strike, because remember, YouTube gives you a freebie, a grace one with no penalty to your channel. If you get a third actual strike, which is your fourth community guideline violation in 90 days, then your channel is terminated. So that's how it works. So YouTube has done what I meant to say is YouTube's done a better job at being more transparent and giving creators chances to understand how they handle, people flagging content and what violates community guidelines and doesn't. That's why the first time you get a warning instead of a strike. And I've never had any community guideline strikes on the YouTube platform ever. I've had a couple of false copyright strikes that people have put on me in the past, but I was able to reverse those with a counter notification because it was fair use. But besides that, I've never had an issue with that. I meant to say your look. Yes, that's what I had, says Queen. Okay. Is that why you haven't gone live at Queen Ellen Casey? Gia, I do go live on my main channel sometimes. She does. The last few times she's gone live, it's been to address the trolls and stuff like that. But I think Queen Helen Casey is also done with these trolls, and she's going to start doing, at least is what I assume, she's going to start doing what I've been doing, is ignoring them and avoiding them. It's the best thing to do. So, anyway. So, what was I going to say here? I'm going to wrap this up by saying this, folks. You are the master of your own domain. You create your own journey in the ways you want to create it. You are the only person that's going to hinder your success. If you allow other people to kick you down and bring you down and take advantage of you, in essence, you're hindering your own success. I know there are still some very good people in this world nowadays that, have the attitude such as I do. And even though I still am a loving, caring, considerate person that believes in world peace and wishes that everyone could love each other and get along, I know that's not possible. But back in my younger days, no matter who would come into my life, I would give everyone a chance, no matter what. I would hang around with anyone, good, bad, or indifferent, right? And there are still a lot of you out there nowadays that'll just give anyone a chance because you don't have an ounce of hate in you and you want to give everyone a chance because that's the kind of person you are. You got to come to terms with yourself and say, hey, my time is valuable. A lot of times you won't realize this until you get older because you have more time when you're younger. I'm trying to teach people to value their time when they're younger and learn this at a younger age than I did, because if you learn it at a younger age than I did, you're going to be more successful quicker than someone at my age. If I knew back then what I know now, which is what I'm trying to say, and started doing something like this 20 years ago, I can only imagine how much further ahead on my goals I would have been. So I'm not asking you folks and telling you folks to stop being a good person and not care at all. Just stop caring too much. Okay? Stop allowing other people to control your destiny. When you stop caring, results will come. If you get that in your head, doesn't mean you have to go out there and preach that and be mean to people and reject people. Just go into everything with the attitude of, I don't care what happens. I want great stuff to happen. But you know what? I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to throw myself in the fire. And I'm going to see what sticks. And if nothing comes out of it, if nothing sticks, so what? I had fun doing what I was doing. I'm going to look at it from a positive standpoint. And if you keep that up, time and time again, every time you are around other people, if you keep up that attitude, at some point, your wins will outweigh your losses. If you don't do it that way, I'm telling you, from my past personal experience, you will never win. Again, doing it the right way, you're still not going to win every time. But eventually you're going to start winning more than losing. Your wins are going to outweigh your losses. And that's when you're going to be successful. If you do it the wrong way, if you care way too much about every little thing, you're never going to win. And I'm the kind of guy that doesn't breed losers. I breed winners. That's what I'm here to do. Now I'm going to just read the chat one more time, and then I'm going to get on out of here. Gia Love, why so many trolls? Well, because there are a lot of hateful people in this world, Gia, and they project their insecurities. They wish they could be like me or you or Queen Helen Casey, and that's just the way it is. You know, and anytime trolls and haters come here, they get banned. We don't want hateful people here. I'm curious to know, before you go, Gia Love, where did you come from? Did you come from the Growth Stream community? How did you find out about my channel? Was it through Queen? Did you find out about Queen first? Like, how did you get yourself in the mix? Because you seem like a pretty cool person. And thank you again for being here. Gia Love says people should get a job or go to school, get some training. Queen Helen Casey says, Gia, they are bored with nothing to do. Gia Love says, sounds like it, Queen Helen Casey. Furthermore, Gia says, good luck with a pinched nerve. Try the patch. Okay, will do. Definitely will do that. I've had it before in the past, Gia. It's been years. It's been like a decade or more. From what I remember, it did take about a month and a half to fully go away, but it starts to get better each and every day. And today, for the first time, I'm feeling better than I have since this started, probably about 2.5 weeks ago or so. Maybe almost 3 weeks. About 2.5 weeks. So I'm going to wait just another minute or so and see if anyone else responds. If not, we're going to get on out of here. Gia Love says, from Queen. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, folks, I'm going to get on out of here. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Thank you to Gia Love for being here. Thank you to Queen Helen Casey. And thank you to everyone else who was watching and not chatting. Hope you got some great value from this, folks. Remember, when you stop caring, results will happen. Go into it with the attitude of, I don't really care about what anyone thinks about me. Okay? Don't look at that from a negative standpoint. Again, when I say I don't really care what anyone thinks about me, in essence, what you're trying to train yourself to think is, and to think and feel is, that if I don't get the desired result, within this situation, it's not going to bother me. I'm just going to keep trying until I get what I want regarding whatever it is I'm trying to accomplish. Gia Love says, time heals all wounds. All right, fantastic. Folks, we're going to get them out of here. Have yourselves a great night, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. We're out. We're out. We're out. Peace out. Peace out.